Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and I'm the career guy with the bow tie, and I have a good one for you today. So, without further ado, let's get on. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my screen right now, and we're going to have it kind of a low budget type of deal. I just want to get to the point. I don't need this fancy intro, I don't need this fancy exit music. I think what is important is the content itself in these videos. So, what we're going to talk about today is high paying trades that don't require a college degree. So let's just say, I never got this advice, when I was in college, or not college, but I mean college or high school. A lot of times you should be getting this advice right in high school. You want to know, what is a good paying, trade that maybe you don't want to go to college, or you can't afford college, or you don't want to take on the student loan debt. So where is all this information coming from? I get a lot of the information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Some of the questions I asked Chat GPT. We'll go to ZipRecruiter. We're going to go to Bankrate, and we're going to go to the Fred Economic Data. And these are all good websites. Please check them out. That's the Bureau of Labor Statistics website right there. And that's the Chat GPT symbol. I should say logo. So from the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I just was thinking about this on my own. So some of this information just comes on my own. I was thinking, let's just say I don't want to go to college, because, we've already made 2 videos, the top 10 highest paying bachelor degree majors and the top 10 lowest bachelor degree majors. And we sure don't want to be on the top 10 lowest bachelor degree majors. We'd prefer to be on the top 10 highest, but let's just say, we weren't interested in those type of careers. We want to do something, and here are some trades. Look at this. Elevator repair, $47.05. Electrician, $28.87. And these are median. What do I mean by median? This is the middle value. So if you're an owner-operator, you're going to be making a lot more money than someone that's just an apprentice. HVAC, $23.38, CDL, $23.23. CDL is kind of a special one to me. I thought about becoming a CDL truck driver back in 2020. This is before the pandemic. I was attending some classes, and then once the pandemic hit, then I was like, well, I'm going to go in a different direction. That kind of led me to getting my MBA, and I'm taking the business approach now. Welding, $22.60. At one point in time, I was, in graduate school, thinking about, how to make some extra money. You can get a welding course done as a certificate at a community college within a semester, so that's a viable option for some people, and you can get a very good paying job as shown here. A painter, pest control, and lawn service. So it all depends on what part of the country you're in for pest control and lawn service. Some parts may be more favorable than others for these type of career paths, but I just want to throw them out there for you. So why am I discussing this? Well, with the recent passage by the Supreme Court of no debt forgiveness, I wanted to introduce alternatives. So a lot of people thought they were going to get $10,000 off their student loans, $20,000 off their student loans. They're finally, I don't know if they knew this or not, they're realizing that they're not going to get any debt relief, so I want to introduce alternatives, which a lot of these alternatives are not discussed in high school. They weren't discussed in high school when I was in high school. I graduated high school in 2000. It was always the high school counselors, and I grew up in Iowa, but the high school counselors were always pushing, University of Iowa, Iowa State, University of Northern Iowa, and I'm sure it was like that, in the neighboring states and throughout the whole country. Let's just say you were living in Arizona, they're probably pushing Arizona State, University of Arizona. If you lived in Washington, they're probably saying, oh, you got to go to Washington State or University of Washington, and you get my point. Some state schools. But the whole thing is, these are good paying jobs and careers. If you can't live off of $47.05 an hour, and you have no college debt, and you may want to reevaluate your lifestyle at that point in time. So it's something to think about. No college debt. When you go into these trades, more than likely, you may have to pay some type of, association fee or membership fee, but generally you're not going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars on some certificate or a piece of paper, not certificate, but like a piece of paper, and let's just say I majored in history, there might be no value in that type of degree. I mean, there could be value, you'd have to maybe go to law school or business school, but just as a history major, teaching history, may not be that I love history, so I don't want to kick on that. I've been a big history buff, but we have to be able to support our families, and that has to be realistic. Saving for retirement, we're going to look at compounding investing, and we're going to look at the website called Bankrate. And let's just say you're in college, and let's just say, like myself, I went to college, I got a bachelor's degree, got a master's degree, got a PhD, and let's just say that puts you 10 years behind. Well, that's going to put you behind on maybe getting the right interest rate. And we're going to take a look at that too. And it's also going to put you behind on retirement. So let's take a look at that right now. Let's go to, let's switch up the scene here. I'd like to switch up the scene to the Bankrate calculator. So I was working on this a little bit before I made this video. So let's just say, you're 18 and you retire at 65. This is just a 401k calculator, and this does have some type of employer match to it. So, roughly that employer match is 3%. We could always kick this down to 0% if you're your own business owner, but let's just leave that at, I think that's not a bad percentage to leave that at. And let's just say we started at $40,000 because we went into one of these trades. We get an annual salary increase of 2%. Current age is 18. Let's just say our parents or someone gave us $1,000. We were able to save up $1,000, through high school, and we put it in there initially. If we don't put in $1,000, I want to see how much it changes this by. It doesn't change it by a whole lot. So. Switch the scene, so we'll go back to that scene right there. So we have 2.344, roughly 2.3 million, right? And let's just say I went to get my bachelor's degree, and then I went to graduate school, and I start making, more than likely you're not going to start at 200,000. Let's just say you are making 150,000. Let's go back to the scene. $150,000. 28, and let's just say we have $1,000 in our account. I think I have a hotkey turned on where it flips back on that one. So let's just say we're going to do that. $150,000. Calculate. Let's see what we get. So let me just make sure all the numbers are right. 150,000, 2% salary increase will give us a $3.9 million. But how many college, unless you're going into business, you're not going to be starting at $150,000. I'll be more realistic. A lot of these majors are only starting at $50,000. And then see, after from 28 to 65, they're only going to have 1.3. Now let's just be a little more generous, and I'll even give the college graduate with a professional or some type of master's degree or PhD 90,000, and now they have 2.4 million. So roughly the same, they start at 90,000, 10 years later they earn the same amount, but yet they're not able to take advantage of interest rates. See the interest rates right here? While they were in college, let's just say they started in 2020, or let's just say they started in 2015, and they don't get out of college till 2025, they're not able to purchase a house. While the high schooler who took the advantage of a trade purchased a house in 2020 or 2021 at a 2.5% interest rate. Now when the college grad gets out, we don't even know what the interest rates are going to be. But currently right now they're at 7%. So the college grad is not putting any equity in the house. Housing prices only get more expensive as you go on. So the price of the house goes up, the interest rate goes up or is not as variable, so they have those two factors working against them. Please take that in consideration. I was being kind of generous at someone starting at $90,000. More than likely they're going to be starting around this amount, and they're only going to have 1.38 million. Well, a high school grad who took the route of going into trade school has 2.3, but let's just say they become their own business owner. Right? And at 28, they become a business owner. At 28, we become our own business owner of our own HVAC system. So look at this. We have the average HVAC owner salary by state, and we have all the states listed. And the lowest one here, for some reason, is Florida, but we'll put that in. So average around 97,000. So we're going to put in, we're in Florida. We're going to have an average annual salary of 97,000 now. And let's just say we're going to start, our own HVAC system. So at 28, we're going to have roughly $83,000 after 10 years. So we're going to put in, our current balance is $83,000. And we now have an annual salary of $97,000. Now, after 37 years, we have $3.6 million in our 401k, plus the $82,000. So over, roughly $3.75 million in our 401k. While the college graduate, let's just say they get the $150,000 job, right? They get the $150,000 job. I do apologize for that. Whenever I press 1, it flips back to the next screen. They have $3.9 million. So that means, you roughly have to get a $150,000 job if you want to be competitive with the person that started their own HVAC system or HVAC company. Now let's just say they make $80,000, which is a decent salary, $80,000 after college. They only have $2.2 million. So you can see, and then, here's a kicker right here. So I talked about, wanting to get my CDL. Well, there was a reason for wanting to get my CDL. Look at how much a flatbed owner-operator makes. Now they may have to pay $500,000 on the truck, but we're going to see later on that, we're going to be able to get rid of that debt on the truck if we claim this as a business. Now, I'm not a licensed tax professional. I'm not an attorney, so please consult with an attorney or a licensed tax professional if you choose to do this route. But from ZipRecruiter, it said the average flatbed owner-operator makes $6,540 per week. That's over $300,000 per year. I'm going to get my calculator out real quick. So 6,540 times 52, that's $340,000 per year. Let's do this now. Let's just say, I was making, the flatbed, what would they say we made with a CDL? Let's go there. CDL, 2333. So that's roughly like $47,000. Oh, sorry about that. $47,000. So let's just say we start at $47,000 per year. This is going to be amazing. Watch this. We start at $47,000 per year. So after 10 years, we have roughly, I'm going to even keep this on the low end. I'm going to, if I bump it up to 97,000, well, we're going to bump it down to 96,000. We're going to bump that down to 96,000. So we already have $96,000. And let's just say, this is not going to be all profit that we take out of our, $340,000. Let's just say we pay ourselves $200,000. We pay ourselves $200,000. We have $5.5 million in the bank at 65, plus the 96, so roughly $100,000. So roughly, $5.7 million. And we'll say roughly $5.7 million. I know it's going to be a little less, but let's just do $5.7 million. Let's get our calculators out, and let's just say we live till 90 years old. So we have $5.7 million. We're going to live another 35 years. We're going to have $163,000. It's $162,857, but let's just say roughly $163,000 per year for the rest of our lives until we hit 90 years old. Now, who doesn't want that deal? Now, let's just look at the person that went to college at 28, age of retirement 65. They have $2.2 million, so we're going to have $162,000 as a operator of a truck business. Now let's just take our 2.2, divide by 35, $62,000, roughly $100,000 less of money per year. This doesn't include Social Security, but now which career trajectory would you like to go on now? So we talked about the mortgage rates. We talked about, the different rates about this. Another thing I want to point out is student loans. Average student loan debt statistics. So roughly, and this is by Forbes now, this is not by me, roughly on average, the average student loan debt in the United States is $28,950. I bet that's only for a bachelor's degree. Double it for a graduate degree. You're looking at roughly like $50,000-$60,000 in debt. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments section below. But that's why I want to give you these alternatives, because you're going to be paying on these student loans. These student loans are not going to be going away unless you have there's some circumstances where they go away. Let's just say you become permanently 100% disabled, or you work 10 years in the public service and you're on the right type of system, they can go away. But generally, they're not going to go away. They're going to keep with you, and they're going to prevent you from maybe buying a house, buying a car. And a lot of people from 2020 to 2023, let's just say you graduated in 2021. Well, you haven't got you, and then you have student loans. You haven't got used to paying the student loans back because you haven't had to. Come, later this fall of 2023, that payment's going to hit, and that's going to be real money coming out of your pocket. So instead of maybe, purchasing that new car, paying your rent, you're going to have to pay your rent, or buying, some food, it's going to be going towards student loans. So, why did I want to discuss this? With no debt forgiveness, I want to introduce alternatives. That's my big goal right here, so you can have alternatives. These alternatives weren't discussed with me when I was in high school. If they were discussed with you in high school, let me know. I'd like to know in the comment section below. And these are good paying jobs and careers. So something to think about, no college debt. We took a look at the Forbes website already. Roughly $29,000 the average borrower has, and that's just a bachelor's degree right there. Saving for retirement early, we took a look at that. We took a look at compound investing and how if we invested at 18 because we had a full-time job and we were able to invest, we'd do better than the person investing at 28. And that's at 28. Let's just say this person doesn't get out to 35, the situation's even more dire. We looked at taking advantage of interest rates. Let's just say, we both graduated in 2015. I was the one that took the plumber job. Now I was able to purchase a house in 2021, got a really good interest rate. Now this person still hasn't purchased a house from 2015 to 2025, most likely. Some people do. Most likely the college student is not, because sometimes they have to move from city to city or do whatever. Sometimes banks won't give them a loan out. They don't have a full-time job, so they have a lot of issues. Now they're going to be paying more for the house and a higher interest rate. That means more money coming out of their pocket every single day. So we took a look at the average HVAC owner salary by state. We saw the lowest was in Florida, while the highest was in Wisconsin. It averaged from like upper 90s to around $150,000. That's pretty good money. Average CDL flatbed owner, we took a look at this too. We saw that the average flatbed owner was making around $340,000 per year. And my question, I have this question for people out there. So why aren't more people steering younger folks or even older folks and giving them advice on this? Because, when I was looking at becoming a CDL driver a few years ago, no one was giving me advice, about, just how good of a pain of a job this is. And, if you have a family out there or you just want to do certain things, such as maybe purchase a house or a car, it takes money to do these things. So maybe we get ourselves in this situation by marketing. So my question to ChatGPT was, why don't more people know about how well the trades pay and then go into college but then they go into college for huge amounts of debts? And I'm not talking, some college majors you'll be able to pay off this debt, but a lot of college majors it seems like, you're not going to be able to pay off this debt. So there could be several reasons why many people may not be fully aware of the earning potentials and benefits of pursuing trades. There's cultural bias. In many societies there's been a long-standing bias towards traditional academic education and that a college degree is the only path to success. I hope people can see that's not true. It's a bias. Maybe I should, maybe write a business publication on that. Maybe there's a lack of information out there. When I was, getting ready to get out of high school, I thought going to college would be my ticket to success. Obviously, it's not the only ticket to success out there. High schools and guidance counselors often primarily focus on college preparation. That's true. You go to, at least when I was in high school, you'd see all these banners of all these different colleges. You wouldn't see all these banners of like, different tools or steering wheels or truck driving companies. That's what should have been out there. Perception of prestige. People think it's more prestigious to have a college degree. I would rather take $300,000 being a flatbed truck driver over just making, even just $100,000 with a, PhD or whatever. Limited exposure. Many people don't have the exposure to the trades. That's why you want to go out and talk with people that are in the trades. Lack of career guidance. That's where my channel is coming in. My channel is going to help you select a career that can provide for you and your family, a salary that, would be commensurate for just a single person, not a single person, but a single provider, so that, only one person in the family has to be able to provide instead of two. So it's important to note that these are just general observations, and individual circumstances and cultural contexts can vary. So I wanted to throw that in there. Bankruptcy. Now, I brought this section up in bankruptcy. I asked ChatGPT. Now, if you need, someone on financial advice, please consult an attorney or a tax professional or a financial professional. But, I asked the question, if I own my own trucking company and a flatbed truck is part of the business, can I claim bankruptcy on it if I can't pay my bills? So this is what it said. If you own a truck company and the flatbed truck is an asset owned by the business, the bankruptcy process and treatment of the truck would be different compared to a personal bankruptcy. So in this case, if the business is facing financial difficulties and you're considering filing for bankruptcy, it would typically involve a business bankruptcy rather than a personal bankruptcy. So that's a big difference now. Then if I'm going to, here's the next question. I don't want to read everything on there. You could always scroll back and just pause the video if you want to read that. But if I have student loans, can I claim bankruptcy on them? Generally, you can't. So if I took out $500,000 to pay, I purchased a truck for $500,000, it's a semi truck. It's going to be able to do what I need it to do for my business. I can claim bankruptcy on that. And that's not going to go against my home, most likely. But I'm not a tax professional, so please don't quote me on that. But if I take out student loans, I take out $500,000 worth of student loans, that's going to go with me. I can't claim bankruptcy on that in most circumstances. That's just going to keep me hindrance. It's going to prevent me from doing a lot of different things in life. So there is some hope. So if you do go to college, you need to pick the right college major. And I've made a video on the top 10 highest paying undergraduate majors. Please, you need to take that in consideration. You cannot not take that in consideration, knowing that this is your life. You only get one chance at it. So please, you get more than one chance, but you only get one life. So I want you to, make the most out of it. So under normal circumstances, it's generally challenging to discharge student loans through bankruptcy. That's just the way it is, so we have to, that's what the guidance counselors really should be putting in people's head, saying, you get this amount of debt, you're not going to be able to get rid of it, what are you going to do with it? You take out this loan for this business, you could discharge it through bankruptcy. I'm not saying that's the best way of doing things, but at least you have that option. So takeaways, if you go to college, have a plan at a good paying career. College is not necessary to have a successful financial life. Go out and talk with people, just don't sit in a hole, go out and speak with these different people. They're willing to talk with you. They're really generally nice people. So I'd like to end with, please click the like and add and subscribe button. It gives me more motivation to produce more content. I'm really motivated to produce these videos for you. Again, my name is Derek. I'm the career guy with a bow tie. Add me to your LinkedIn and add the comments below. And maybe we could do a live session if we get enough interest. Thank you and have a great day.